Hi, it's Rachel. In this video, I really want to talk about something that's very important to understand. So we're talking about cause and effect, okay, and how this is a basic principle of life. And yet, when you look at it in relation to our soul development and our soul condition and this divine love, is very important to understand because it comes very, very powerful. All right, and that's what I want to dive into a little bit in this video. So each one of us has our own reality. Okay, I have my reality of, the people I interact with, where I live, my perceptions, the things that come into my life, the different things that I face, I encounter, and everybody has their own reality and their own perception of their own reality. Now, our realities obviously overlap and we can affect one another. All right? When you get into this arena of understanding cause and effect, if someone is operating in disharmony, okay, in whatever way and however big, whether it's on, in your government, in your society, in your family, their disharmony, okay, so they're doing actions that are a cause counter to the spiritual laws, okay, so they're not walking in that divine love of God. They don't know that yet, so they're creating this chaos and disharmony and all the ripple effects that it causes, okay. If you're also walking in disharmony, a lot of those causes can affect your reality, okay, and that is all governed by these higher spiritual laws of the degree in which you also are walking in disharmony to the spiritual laws. So that those realities can only affect you in relation to the fact that you are also walking in disharmony to the spiritual laws. If you start walking in harmony with the spiritual laws, so you're coming in alignment with truth, absolute truth, which is also that divine love, and you're growing in that will create harmony in your reality. So no matter the chaos that they're creating, those laws will maintain a harmony in your reality. But what happens is people don't understand these overarching laws that are operating over everybody's realities and how the realities intersect and overlap. So they see something that someone else is doing and they get fearful, they get judgmental, they get whatever it is, and they start responding to the disharmony and chaos that other people are creating in a negative way. And that brings it into their reality. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is that no matter what is happening and how someone else is living their life in regards to the spiritual laws, in creating harmony or disharmony, when you are walking in alignment with the spiritual laws of God, which you can only do really by that divine love, because that divine love reveals all of them. Remember, it reveals all those things that you don't see because you see differently in divine love, because you're having the perception coming from the Father, okay, and He gives you great vision in your life and in what you see. And when you start walking in the spiritual laws, those supersede any disharmony that somebody may be trying to encroach upon your reality. So they may even try to, so someone in disharmony may try to, I don't know, harm you, create disharmony in your world somehow, but it will never truly harm you or take effect, okay, because that's what this walking in divine love creates in your life, is the highest power, because it's God shaping your reality. It is God protecting you. It is God being your fortress, and this is how. So we've heard these different ideas that God's our protector, that God's our fortress, that His truth is our shield. That is true. But this is how. It is coming by us being in accordance with those spiritual laws, because when we're operating in it, they create harmony. That's what they do. And we know them and walk in them when we are walking and abiding in that divine love, which comes from being in a union of love with the source of that love. So when we draw near to the source, the true Heavenly Father, that His love starts flowing into us. Okay? It's like when you have a loving relationship with someone, their love starts becoming a part of your reality. When you start having that with the Heavenly Father, His love starts becoming a part of your reality. But His love is a divine love, a perfect love. It is more powerful than anything that anybody else can do. That's how powerful it is. But it is so peaceful and so gentle that no one understands its power. And the reason that I think we're not familiar with this is because most people here aren't aware of truly this divine love of God. Because what happens is we have our natural love, and it may be a very beautiful, perfected natural love even, that comes from our self-effort and wanting to love and learning and this whole thing. And we place that concept of natural love onto God and His love. We can't do that. We have to understand there are two loves. They are different from each other. And although they have a certain harmony with one another, they are different. So we have to learn about this divine love of God, because it operates very differently, because it's beyond ourself. It's not self-generated. It's not generated from our soul. It flows through our soul, changing us, and flows outward. And it's when we come to a certain point of having that divine love, so it's always growing in us and being filled with us, because as we grow closer and closer in that union with God, which we do as we grow more and more in harmony with all His spiritual laws and all His spiritual truths. Because as we grow closer into His love and to His truth, we're growing closer to Him. So more of all that He is encompassing our reality. So it's a continuous growth. Well, we get to a point where we're so in line with that it's literally as if His love, He's loving through us, because that divine love. And again, this is something that is so important and powerful about this. In divine love, you cannot love perfectly. That's something that you learn and you desire it, because you experience the wisdom and the perfection of that love, and that's what you want to give everyone. You want to love them perfectly all the time. Well, that's impossible in your limited vision and understanding. But with that divine love, it's possible. Okay, but it's a process and it's a growth as that air is pushed out, as that divine love grows in you, as you start walking according to all these spiritual laws, so that you really come to a point where you really can love others in a way that's increasingly growing more and more perfect and beautiful and complete and reflective of the Father's love for someone. Okay, but that is such a journey, and it's a journey and it's not instant, because we literally have to be transformed by that love, because that's what it does. Okay, and that's how it does, by revealing all these different ways. Like I mentioned before, some of them about the lust versus the love, and honoring others, and doing unto the others as we would want them to do to us, and really living in that in a sincere way, without hypocrisy, without obligation, without forcing. And that's another example of, for example, that sometimes people don't see the cause and effect of, is that they force their religious beliefs on someone else, or their understanding. That causes disharmony, because you learn with divine love, it never forces. And I will tell you, that is something that we try to do because we think we're helping someone. So we're wanting to force our understanding. But if you notice with your relationship with the Heavenly Father, He never does that. He shares. and He instructs and He reveals. But as it's always a connection of love with Him, we must come into, in our own desire, to be in alignment with that instruction and that truth. And that's when we find that harmony. Until we do that, we're experiencing the effects of walking counter to those laws. But that's how He loves. And so He never forces Himself. And so you learn that. You learn that love doesn't force itself. So, but some people do that. So they don't understand why they have so much disharmony in their life, because they think they're doing good by forcing their religious beliefs on someone. So they're having these other problems. They can't figure it out. That's why. So, but there are so many little things like that this love will reveal to you. And so for each one of us, we all have our different realities that are full of our own experiences, our own individual interactions, the own dynamics in each relationship. And that's why each one of us has to understand and desire this divine love from the Father, because it works in us in such a way that brings such an understanding in these different dynamics that creates a true peace and a true harmony in things that we may have never thought, because we thought we were doing good. That's one of the things that can be most revealing about this process, is that you realize, wow, I thought I was doing a good thing by, doing something for someone even though I really didn't want to. That causes disharmony, because that's hypocrisy. So you think, well, yeah, but then, I don't want to be mean to them. That's the cause, okay? That's where you have to get to, and that's what divine love dives into your soul, is why do you even feel that in the first place? Because that's how deep it goes. There's nothing fake or hypocritical or unreal about divine love. It will reveal everything, because it's full of honesty and truth, and it's a light in your soul, and it brings to light every hidden thing, every hidden motive, every hidden angst, every hidden fear, because it's pushing them out. And when you do that, you find an immense freedom. So another thing that you learn about this is that because you cannot love perfectly yourself, and you know that, okay, you are fully aware of that. When you really desire that, you are fully aware of that. So it always feels like you can step out of not loving someone as you want to, that you would reflect anything else but love to them. And trust me, when you want to love someone and you're not reflecting love, that's tormenting. But what happens is that you have to totally trust God in that love that's coming through to love perfectly, and to work in you so that you can do it, because you know it's beyond yourself, and you see that growth happening within you. And it's not instant, it's gradual. As things are pushed out, the things start to fade. The judgments, the criticism, the condemnation, the unforgiveness, the grudges, the vengeance, the retribution, the self-pity, the self-condemnation, the worthlessness, the valuelessness, the insignificance, the dishonor. That's what this love pushes out. And you truly do start loving as you want to love, but it's never of yourself, and you're always aware of that. So it forms a very strong bond of trust in a relationship between you and the Heavenly Father, because you know He's trustworthy. You know that divine love wants to love, and when you want to be a part of it, that's what it wants. Okay? That's what His love is always there. It's constant, it's unchanging, it's immutable, it's perfect. So the moment that you want to come into alignment with it and you desire it, which you do when you start receiving even just a few drops of it, you realize that it's trustworthy to create in your life growth, so that you're moving more and more and more into love, and being an expression of love and moving away from it. And that means you're growing more and more into harmony in your life. So that as you grow in that, no matter what disharmonious things happening in anybody's reality, no matter how much power, influence they have, that divine love is supreme because it is of the Father. It's actually the Father crafting your reality. He's becoming a part of it. Remember, in this present moment, He is right here. He's crafting your reality, and no one's stronger than Him. Okay? No one. So when He's working in your reality, creating that harmony through that divine love, which these are all just His truths and His laws, nothing can encroach upon that. So people may try to, but it's like, they're shooting arrows at you and they just boomerang off you. So it looks like people may have an intent to harm, but it never ignites. It never goes anywhere. It never really harms you. Okay, that is the protection because it's the love that harmony creates. It simply creates that harmony and that peace. So now that is a peace that surpasses all understanding when you know that in your spirit. And as you start understanding these laws and this love, that's what you know. So this understanding of these different realities and how they overlap, but yet how God can totally maintain harmony in your reality even though there's disharmony. And anybody's disharmony that may affect yours, He can maintain harmony in your reality. Okay, that's how powerful this is on a very real level. So this is very, very significant in your life. And once you start understanding this and growing, this is exactly what you experience. So this is, these are amazing truths. And I know there's maybe a lot here and you think, oh, this sounds so complicated. I will tell you that I see things on a very deep and connected level, and I love it. That's a passion I have, okay? It's just how I think, it's how my mind is. So let me make it really simple. The Heavenly Father who created this creation created it by certain laws. And there's a law that affects every law, and that's cause and effect, because that's exactly what actually having a law does. If you have a no speeding and you're speeding, then you can get a ticket. Okay? There's laws have effects. So when you simply, truly, honestly, from your heart desire to know the perfect love, the divine love of the Father, meaning it's far beyond just your natural love. Okay? It's far beyond a love that sometimes has hurt and pain and fear wrapped up in it. This love doesn't have any of those things. It actually pushes all those things out of your life. But when you desire that love and you pray for that love, and you can come to the faith of understanding there's a Creator that loves you, and that love is available for you. And I will tell you it is, because that's the very nature of that love. Then, and you start receiving that into your soul, it's going to work all of this out. Okay? It will change you. It will transform you. It will move you into harmony with these spiritual laws, whether you're totally cognizant and understanding of them or not. So the main thing is truly desiring to have and be a part of this beautiful, perfect love. And sometimes people don't really want that, to be honest, because they don't think it's important, they don't think it's powerful, they don't think it's significant. And that's one reason that I want to share these with you, is because I will tell you, in my experience, it is very real and it is very powerful, and what I'm telling you is true because I experience it. And I'm growing it and I'm learning. Okay, as we all learning, and there is so much to learn when you're talking about an infinite God. And that's one thing when you know you're learning, that your beliefs are always being reshaped because you're moving out of a darkened mind into the light. So it's always reshaping how you see things. All right, but you come to a point where you experience the transformation of that divine love in however amount, and you understand the truth that it reveals to you, and it is its own witness in your life, your own testimony in your life, and it's very powerful. So that is the main thing, is to spend that time just in desire and that prayer for that divine love, and having that faith of knowing there is a creator who is the source of that love. And because it's love, it wants to give you that love and be in a bond of love with you. And if you can just desire that, then it will show you these laws. It will make these changes in your life. And what's interesting is because you grow into this incredible faith and bond with God, so that His will consumes your will. Okay, you want to love perfectly, and so you want Him in that perception, in that divine intellect, all that to flow through you. And that's exactly what He does. He consumes you, but you have to desire it, because He'll never force that upon you. It's always something that we want to give. But once you move into that realm of His will, He is like His will and His thoughts start governing you, and you find complete, absolute freedom. That's kind of the irony of it all, is that when you come into a union so that you let God be your God, let Him be your perfect Heavenly Father over your life, and stop trying to do that all on your own, and force things and have your own self-will and all these things, you actually grow in immense freedom, because you no longer have the fears. People don't understand how much fear and the perception of lack and all these things actually bind them. It has bound all of us. But as you move into this union with the Heavenly Father and that source of divine love, all of those are gone. So you start living in a carefree, blissful, beautiful, bountiful existence, because that's what His love creates in your reality. And all you want to do is let that spread to every other soul, every part of a living creation, to experience part of that, because that's what that love desires. So you actually become very free in your will, because when all you desire is to love you, and that's true, love perfectly, then you're absolutely free. That's the freest you'll ever experience. Because what makes us limits our freedom is the fear and the bondages and all those other things. It's the disharmony, everything that we create by living by the wrong cause, which is not being in harmony with the divine love of God. So if you desire that kind of existence, then ask for that divine love from a sincere heart, and know that it will transform you and bring you into the fulfillment of truly your deepest, truest desires in all purity, in all truth. And it will be an amazing transformation in your life. It really is that simple. But yet when you peel back all that's going on, there's a lot going on, but it is simple because it's for everyone. That love is extending itself always, all the time, to everyone.